So if you've been hanging around for a while now, you know Black Mage is like becoming one of my also favorite jobs of Final Fantasy. I think the in-depth and challenge of how to maneuver Black Mage is so fun and just big brain focus on fights that require you to look at it different. There's some new things and some changes that coming in Walker. Let's talk about it because I keep hearing that it's gonna make Black Mage easier, but I challenge that argument. What's up, good people? It's your Final Fantasy homie Jay, and we're just gonna go right off the bat like we did with our monk video. We're just gonna read the changes that I see and then talk about them as we always do, and then go from there. So one of the first things that I see is that while under the effect of Astral Fire or Umbral Ice, Enochian will now automatically be applied as a trait. For me, this is amazing because I am a person who I panic, things get stressful, I forget to do abilities, and then I drop Enochian, and then now I'm not doing any damage for like 20 seconds. Like, it gets bad. Or, you know, I try to limit test and try to push my casting to the very last second. That server tick gets the world of me, and now I've dropped my Enochian. And because of that, like, you're missing like at least a good third of your combo rotation if you think about Bilzzard 4, which I know high tier people don't use that anymore, or they use it situationally, or Fire 4, or even Despair. Like, those three things are super important into your rotation. And once you drop Enochian, it's gone. So I think having it as a trait, it's kind of like what they did with Monk with Grease Lightning, where, you know, doing those transitions during downtime is going to make it easier kind of just to keep it up without having to focus on transposing all the time. But I actually really like this. I really like this change. I think it's going to allow you to focus more on positioning as Black Mage, and it takes away some of the micromanaging that you need to do, but also it's just going to make the transition smoother with it being a trait rather than an active ability. So I think that's actually a good thing, and I think that would be a pretty welcoming change that I'm sure most Black Mages will be completely fine with. The next one I see is new single target fire and ice spells. I mean, from the video, it looked like there was a Fire 5, because at first I thought it was a Fire 3, and I went back and looked at it. I also thought Despair was a different looking ability, but it wasn't. It was Despair, the fire with the lightning. I obviously was just not paying attention to too hype. But I believe we're gonna get a Fire 5, and I also believe we're gonna get an Ice 5. There was a different ice ability, and I could not tell if that was freeze, so I didn't want to put it in there and make fun of myself more than I already did throughout the video. By the way, if you're enjoying my videos, think about giving it a like and subscribing. I post all the time. I just wanted to throw that in there real quick. But it looks like we're going to get an Ice 5 and a Fire 5, which is just going to be another great rotation. And I'm happy to see the explosions and how dope they look, because one of the coolest things about Black Mage is the effects of their abilities. It's just it's so rewarding to watch chunks of life get taken away. After that, let's see, Black Mage will receive new AOE fire and ice spells. Black Mage AOE rotation is pretty straightforward. Usually once you get to the level where your trait allows you to let off 2 flares before you run out of mana, pretty much you're doing freeze to get your, I think it's freeze. You get freeze to get your Umbral Heart, and then you just smash in 2 flares, rinse and repeat. And then use your Black Mage extra abilities as needed, and it's really just 2 buttons. So adding some extra fire and spells in there is gonna make your AOE rotation feel more active, more satisfying. Who doesn't want to see more explosions and beauty? So I'm completely fine with that. That's just more buttons I got to think about. Whatever. Maybe they'll make Bilzzard 2 useful. I think I saw somewhere that Bilzzard 2 can transform into a different ability, which is going to be nice, because right now Bilzzard 2 is not on my hotbar at all. So if that becomes a thing, that'll be so good. I'll be so happy about that. After, let's see, Sharpcast will receive an additional charge. Oh gosh, that's just more. That's just more wrapping my off global cooldowns into my instacast procs, or my triple cast, because usually you want to use your off global cooldowns during like your instacast procs or your triple cast, so that way you don't clip any abilities. And I'm already learning to do all that, and now I gotta worry about another Sharpcast. Oh gosh. Which I'm curious to see why they're giving you an additional one, because most likely 90% of the time you use it for thunder. 3, 4, use it for thunder. It levels up, whatever that is. So most time you're using it for thunder. So now I'm wondering if they're trying to get you to use it for thunder and fire to get 2 procs with the fire 3. But it would be really cool to see if something else allows you to use Sharpcast, because I know there's another ability that uses Sharpcast, Scathe, but I don't think anybody ever uses Scathe. Like, I don't even have Scathe on my hotbar. So we're not gonna even talk about that ability that doesn't exist. And then the last one, which I believe was in the videos, when satisfying certain parameters, switching between astral fire and umbral ice will make new actions available. From the video, it looked like that is the one where your spells are going to intertwine, where you're doing the fire and ice abilities, where if you saw in the video, in my reaction video, or if you saw the job action trait, there's fire with ice spinning around it, and it looks so gorgeous. And I wonder if there will be some ice with a fire kind of ability in it, because that would be so sick. If they can make it with all 3 of them, do some kind of active, oh my gosh. Like, I'm super excited. I think the biggest excitement is Enochian. I think Enochian is gonna just help with you being able to focus, but focus on the fight more. But I also heard, and I see people saying Enochian's gonna make Black Mage easier with it being a trait. I don't think that's true, because you're gonna have new rotations that you gotta input. But the issue with Black Mage has never been Enochian. The Enochian doesn't make Black Mage hard. What makes Black Mage hard is having to predetermine where you need to stand. Like, it makes you look at fights different. You need to know 3-4 steps ahead. Okay, I need to stand here because these AOEs are gonna come out soon. And the worst thing a Black Mage can do is have to move so much and not have triple cast or not have swift cast. Excuse me, I'm still fighting this cold. So being able to now focus less on the Enochian will allow a Black Mage to focus more on where my positions are without having to look at so many meters. And usually, and let's get it right. If you're good at your rotation and you already know the fight, and Enochian was an issue for you anyway, Enochian an issue for me because I ain't good at anything. But but I think the Enochian becoming a trait is going to be one of the most exciting things for me personally. And then who doesn't like more explosions and more boomies? I'm also going to plan to drop a bard changes. I saw there's quite a few changes there, and we're going to look at the ninja ones. I'm going to focus on the ones that I've leveled and talked about so far, and not the ones that I don't know. I feel like they'll be doing all of this service talking about Dragoon, and I have no idea what Dragoon was in the first place. So be looking out for those this week. As always, if you enjoy these videos, you can hang out with me on the stream. I stream on YouTube and Twitch, so you can hang out there. Or you can jump in the Discord and chit chat with me anytime you want. I think it'll be a good time. Remember, happy questing. Get ready, Endwalker's less than 2 months. We got a great time ahead of us, and it's gonna be glorious.